Welcome to the Resistance.
Hey Xers, and welcome back to Gen X Resistance. I am Paul Stevens, your host, your guide, your captain, your Sherpa. Apparently now your local cloud interpreter. And I'll get to that in just a minute. But it is the holidays. Christmas is just a few days away, which means half of you are relaxed while the other half of you are stressed. But all of you are pretending that the credit card bill is January's problem. So today's episode is short. It's reflective. And dare I say, maybe a little festive. But don't panic, I'm still sarcastic. That doesn't go away. Sarcasm, after all, is my love language. When I started this podcast, I thought that I knew exactly what it was going to be. I was going to be the clever, sarcastic Gen X guy giving his opinion on politics and culture and media, basically yelling into the void like a man shaking his fist at the clouds while muttering, "Back in my day!" And don't get me wrong, I believe that there is a time and a place for that, because sometimes yelling is, well, therapeutic. But somewhere along the way, something shifted. The show stopped being about yelling at the clouds, and it started being about explaining the clouds, how they form, why they keep showing up, and why maybe, just maybe, we should have packed an umbrella. What Gen X Resistance has really become is this: a place where Gen X takes what we learned, usually the hard way, and it turns it into something useful. Not lectures, not sermons, not the kids these days, all that nonsense, but mentoring and teaching, walking alongside the next generation instead of shouting directions from the porch. Same sarcasm, same edge, just a clearer purpose. Because here's what I know. Gen X is not obsolete. We're just underutilized. We've lived through analog to digital, careers without a roadmap, media without filters, mistakes without Google, and consequences without a comment section. And that experience matters. So if you're Gen X listening to this, consider this your reminder. Your experience has value. Your stories matter. And you don't have to be loud to be influential. And if you're younger, Gen Z, Millennials, Gen Alpha, well, welcome. Pull up a chair. We're not here to talk at you. We are here to walk with you, to translate the system, explain the culture, to point out the potholes that we've already stepped in so maybe you don't have to. And yes, we will do that with sarcasm, because sarcasm is how Gen X says, I care, but I refuse to be dramatic about it. There might be some light changes ahead. Maybe even a little name tweak at some point. Nothing drastic, nothing that changes the heart of the show. This is just me leaning into my natural strength as a mentor, a teacher, a guide who's already survived the maze and left the notes on the wall. Gen X Resistance isn't going anywhere. It's just focusing. And since it's the holidays and Christmas is just a few days away, I want to say this. Slow down. Call someone you haven't talked to in a while. Share a story. Laugh at something stupid. Pass along a little wisdom, or at least a decent warning. Joy doesn't have to be loud. Sometimes it's just being present. Sometimes it's explaining the clouds instead of yelling at them. All right, from me to you, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, however you celebrate, and thank you for walking with me. Same sarcasm, better purpose. I will see you next time, probably next year. Until then, stay rad, my friends.